Hey everyone, RemanX here with a quick breakdown on when it's time to go to war. So remember guys, this video is sponsored by Age of Z Origins. We've been definitely deep diving with the team over here and learning a lot about this game. I actually love it a lot, and one thing I will say is there's a couple of unique mechanics, and I'm going to get into one right now that has to do with war. So like many city builders, you're building an army that's designed to help you defend yourself and conquer the world. And one of the things about that is you're going to see that there are going to be times when you're going to be attacked. You're going to have your own territory that you and your alliance are going to maintain in the world, and these will help give you guys extra resources and the like. But the question is, when is it time to go to war? And so a couple key factors are are there are usually things like alliances, and so geopolitical factions, play a part in this, right? So you don't want to fight somebody that you have an alliance with, so you kind of have to watch for that when you're when you're working with that. More importantly, somebody that may seem like an easy target for you may very well be that. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to launch a quick attack. We're going to throw a big team out on this, and I just want to kind of show you guys just the factor in this, and we'll see. We're just going to go and hit them, and then we're going to show you guys the results here. Now, again, when you attack the city, you'll be able to take some resources. You'll probably kill some of their troops and probably lose some of your own. But that's the thing I want to talk about is in this game, there really isn't a lot of penalties for dying, and we're going to go into that because that's the thing that I thought was most interesting when it came down to this. We'll take a look at the battle report, and they said we kills, losses. It looks like there was nothing going on over there. Basically, you could see that they've probably already been lost over there. You'll see that we had it there. So we'll try to find another city. Now you can scout cities. The thing about scouting a city is you'll typically alert them that you're scouting them. So it isn't as keen as just simply getting in there and doing that. So let's see if we can find somebody with a little bit of power. So okay, let's go ahead and just we'll try another one here. See if I can actually have some troops die. Because I think that's the big difference here is what happens when your troops die. And I think that's the big fear whenever you're playing these games. If you built up a massive army, what happens when things don't go your way? And so, like I said, I had another city, but one of the things about war is you can move your cities, and that's a really powerful way to adjust for positioning. You can have it entirely people. You can also reinforce cities and have them move. So let's say a member of your alliance wants to go get back at somebody, attack them. You can reinforce their city, use all those troops, move with them, and attack almost like a little mini aircraft carrier. And so, but the thing about it is when your troops die, because this is a zombie game, they can be resurrected as zombies, and we'll get into that in a minute. We're going to try to demonstrate it here if I can find a target. Quite a few teams. Quite a few teams here. Have moved away from us. We're kind of in an area which is nice where there isn't a lot of activity, but it's definitely something that we've been able to kind of adjust from. But when we took early heavy losses, some of us were discouraged by the army that we'd built up, and it was frustrating to think that we had lost all of the power that you gain. Remember, a lot of what this is based on is overall power and the like. Let's see if we can find it here. Map. Let's see. Find. So we're looking for like high concentration. That's where people will probably be. This is the city at the center. See, there's all these alliance activity here. So we'll try to just find somebody. It's pretty high power right there. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go. We'll set out our army. We're going to take some losses here. We'll speed these guys all the way up. Or you can speed them up by half of a half of a half of a half. Eventually, you'll get there. And we're going to see what happens here. Hopefully, we'll take some losses and I can show you the result. Now, one thing you could do is if you're being attacked, you could literally simply put up a peace shield if you had enough time. You can see where this, it's a pretty large scale battle here, and it isn't resolved instantly. We're actually starting to whittle away at his standing army here. You'll see that our attacker, the red, is gradually pushing through the blue here. And once it's done, we'll get the spoils here and we'll be able to process everything. Now, one thing is, when you're building these, we're going to talk about hospitals. We're going to talk about everything else like there. And we've plundered. So there we go. We'll speed up. Get in and out of there pretty fast. We'll just do it in a minute. Okay. And we'll see, the results here. Okay. So, lost units, I lost 13,000 units. He didn't lose any. Okay. So we're going to go over this and we're going to go into the city and just take a look at this, right? So when you attack, especially a city like that, you can definitely lose some resources here. So let's do it. So let's look at my city here. So we'll just kind of take a look and clean up, right? So the hospital, all right, no troops are wounded, and so we'll see over here the biochemical. All right. So what happens is when your losses are accumulated and they're tallied here, okay, you'll get biochemical material. So anytime your troops die, they become biochemical material for the zombie troops, which have amazing stats as you build them up. The zombie troops, as you build up your army by working with your two love interests / interest here, the ones you're rescuing from the plague, you'll build up your army. They're giving you rewards for that actual army, and it's quite a big deal because you actually have the option to just when you wage war, you don't take these massive losses, so they get converted back into biochemical waste. So I think it's pretty cool. These massive wars that you may be undertaking aren't going to put these huge dents into your overall power, and it's something that I think people are just always a little bit afraid of war when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, you just want to continue to fight. That's how you're going to progress the system. So you're building up a war and the like. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. I will say that one thing you want to do is I always try to make sure we look at the city buffs. You have the different things where you have the teleports you can use. We talked about that, the peace shields, attack bonuses you could use, especially if you're going to war. Again, all we just try to do is showcase that, and you can see you have the HP bonus. All these different things can be used in multiple different scenarios. You can use them in the PvE content as well. but more specifically when you're waging war to reduce the number of losses. And again, remember, the camp city has an advantage over you power-wise, so sometimes it is good to scout, especially if you're working with your alliance to wage war. You can see that some alliances are much more proficient, but we're just getting our hang of it. If you guys have any tips and tricks for us later on, please leave them in the comments. But like I said, this is The Art of War, brought to you by RemanX. Stay tuned.